Here's my finished version of the 4F180 hybrid using a fuselage from Ed, also known as Darth DRK. Of course, you all know it's going to be a hybrid just because of the fact that you need a tail motor in the back instead of a servo. So, if you guys watched my previous video, you guys know all of my electronics that I was using to make this work. So I did a few improvements, different things that I did. She's almost weighted out completely. You can see it just about perfect. Perfect balancing, just about. You'll see what I did to get that going. Basically, I changed out again my tri-prop that I was using. I was using the original tri-blade from Walkera, CB180Q, D, and the V200 D02. All use the same tri-prop. Well, I didn't like the way it looked, so I ended up switching it back out to the quad home blades that I did. Basically, I'm using E-Sky blades you can get from RTF Heli that you use for the direct tail drive motor. And all I did was use two of them put together with a longer screw and a washer for some spacing to give you that spacing needed between the blades. So that's that. I did a few improvements, especially for you Walkera guys that are going to be using this fuselage. You guys need to do this. These are the self-tapping screws that come for the fuselage, so you can put them there and up there. But what I did is I'm using carbon fiber rod, and only for demonstration purposes only. I only have one on right now. I will be getting another one and some grommets, but right now I'm just using it as a demo. So basically, I thought by unscrewing and screwing this canopy off, it takes too long. So you turn on your helicopter, you have your battery on, and then you're screwing it on for 2-3 minutes. So that's killing too much time. So what I'm going to do a little later is I'm going to install a off and on switch on the bottom of the compartment here, of the electronics compartment. Put a little off and on switch there. So that will solve that issue. But to get the canopy off and on quicker, what I'm doing is I'm using that spar that I showed you earlier. And for right now, I just have it on there, no grommets. There will be grommets later, so I installed this on it. Makes it a lot quicker for taking it off and on. And all you gotta do is slide it off, and canopy comes right off. A lot easier. Yeah, there will be two though. So, for the Walkera guys, like I was saying earlier, I made this little platform right here using 3 pieces of plywood. I'm using 1/8 by 6 inches long by 12 inches. It's just something I bought, but the thickness you want is 1/8. And I put 3 of them together, and that way it makes it flush with this battery, the main battery tray. And what I did is I cut out the brace that's on there. I cut it out, cut this out. The purpose for that was so that I'm gonna get a longer, bigger milliamp battery, so it will slide right in there, right in there. So by using 3, it makes it flush with the battery tray. And all I did was use, like I said, 3 pieces of plywood cut together and then screwed together. And I made one longer, the bottom one longer than the top 2, and that's so that I can screw it to the bottom of the plate. Used 2 of the self-tapping screws that were included with the kit to screw in the fuselage, and then the other 2 I had self-tapping the wood screws. And then I cut them because they were a little bit too long. As you can see, I grinded them down. So that's also for weight issue. I was trying to distribute the weight a little bit more forward, and then that way I can get it balanced out a little bit better. So I'll be taking the measurements down later, email them to Darth or Ed, and that way he can put it probably in his instructions for the guys using a Walkera, or maybe even for other people. But there you go. Everything works. Everything works perfect. So it all works. Plenty of room. There's plenty of room in the fuselage for everything. So I'm using the tail boom. There's no tail boom here. And I put a tail boom in there. No tail boom. So for the motor, I'm using the E-Sky. Again, you can get just get the direct drive kit from RTF Heli, and you'll be alright. And with the heatsink on it and 2 blades, and you can do the aqua tail. And set out, spin her up just a little bit, just so you guys get an idea. All works. That grinding you hear is from my main gear. I stripped some teeth out testing it before I went into the fuselage. So there's a few things you can do with this tail. You can either do this, cut it out, use the mount that Darth provides or that Ed provides. You can do that. You can use the mount that he provides, glue it in there. I'm using for the mount inside, I'm using a E-Flight SR tail motor casing. Cut it and fit it in there and glue it on, or epoxy it on. Or you can do what I was thinking about doing but didn't get a chance to, is actually making a tail boom out of copper tubing. Make a tail boom out of copper tubing, send it all the way, run it down, and then bend it, right here, whatever angle you want it, and then put the motor, tail casing motor on it. You can do that, and something I might try different on another date. Anyway, guys, so again, mostly all these improvements, or mostly all these things I've done, is just for the Walkera guys. Have any questions or comments? Let me know. Thanks.